Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a really massive, deeply ingrained assumption in the enterprise tech world. For years now, the industry standard, the holy grail of efficiency really, has been that total 100% automation is the ultimate goal. But what if it's actually not? Based on some incredibly fascinating insights from enterprise tech manager Adeel Ali, we're going to explore why putting literally everything on autopilot might just be a terrible idea for complex organizations. Okay, let's just jump right into it by asking a question that pretty much every tech executive faces under this relentless, crushing pressure to eliminate manual touchpoints. Is automation always an absolute corporate good? Honestly, it's the question keeping infrastructure managers up at night. We've all been aggressively trained to view human intervention as this fatal flaw, right? Like it's just a bottleneck slowing down progress. Well, today we're going to completely reframe that perspective.
So here's our agenda for today. First, we'll look at the automation myth. Second, the hidden costs. Third, the manual by design framework. Fourth, where to restrict automation. And finally, number 5, resilience over autopilot. Let's get going.
All right, Section 1, the automation myth, unpacking the pressure to automate.
In the modern enterprise landscape, the push for automation is, quite frankly, aggressive. Execs are constantly under the gun to just eliminate manual touchpoints entirely. And the ultimate goal here? Accelerate delivery velocities to breakneck speeds and totally replace human decision-making loops with highly efficient algorithmic workflows. The foundational assumption driving all of this is that automation is an absolute corporate good. Faster is always better, less human involvement obviously means fewer human errors, right? Well, actually, scratch that. We need to pivot sharply here, because the reality is that over-automating highly sensitive operational frameworks actually introduces severe systemic vulnerabilities, massive compliance failures, and just unprecedented levels of operational risk.
Which brings us to Section 2, the hidden costs, when algorithms over-index. The absolutely crucial point here is captured perfectly in this idea. When a company automates a workflow, it codifies a set of assumptions. Think about what that actually means in the real world. If you've got predictable, low-stakes data pipelines, sure, codified assumptions work flawlessly. They do exactly what they're told perfectly every single time. But the moment you take those same rigid, unchanging assumptions and force them onto high-variance business operations, the messy, unpredictable, dynamic real world, that total lack of human discretion can lead to catastrophic errors. You are effectively locking your enterprise into this rigid path without any shock absorbers whatsoever. And here's the truly terrifying part about doing this at scale. When an error happens in a manual system, a human makes a mistake once. When an error happens in an automated system, it happens millions of times. Just imagine an enterprise operating within really strict regional data environments, like the Northern Virginia Cloud Corridor. If an automated script misinterprets a shifting data compliance parameter, it doesn't just pause, it doesn't look at the context and stop to ask, hey, wait, is this right? No, it executes that failure at scale, compounding the exact same mistake millions of times before a human operator even gets a single alert notification on their dashboard. In this scenario, the speed of automation literally becomes the speed of disaster. Moving right along to Section 3, the manual by design framework, strategic friction as a feature. To really wrap our heads around this, we need to kind of slow down and hit the brakes on our traditional thinking. We need to introduce this concept of strategic friction. So what is it? Strategic friction is the intentional implementation of manual governance and human-in-the-loop protocols introduced directly into sensitive operational frameworks. It's built specifically to prevent systemic vulnerabilities. In complex organizations, introducing this friction is absolutely not a sign of technical depth. It's not a failure of your engineering team to fully automate their tasks. It is a strict baseline requirement for robust defensive governance. Think of it as the vital guardrail on a really winding mountain road. So, to protect expansive, multi-million-dollar operational portfolios, infrastructure managers have to consciously separate their processes. Think of it as 2 totally distinct layers. On the one side, you have your high-velocity data pipelines. This is your automated execution layer. It's fast, it's efficient, it's highly algorithmic. But on the flip side, you have your high-risk compliance gates. This is your human verification layer. By intentionally separating the execution from the verification, you're creating this necessary buffer where human judgment can actually intercept an automated failure way before it ever hits production.
Section 4, where to restrict automation, hitting the brakes. According to Adeel Ali's analysis, there are 3 very distinct operational domains where automation absolutely must be intentionally restricted to prevent these massive scaled errors. Number 1, high-risk compliance and regulatory gates. Number 2, edge case incident response. And number 3, vendor and cloud cost arbitrage. So let's break down exactly why human discretion is absolutely mandatory in every single one of these specific areas.
Let's start with compliance. Consider this analogy, because it's a great one. Just as lawyers meticulously review every single word of a corporate disclosure or a legal brief for its long-term precedent, systems architects must manually sign off on major production database schema alterations. Why? Well, because automated access control provisioning can easily be tricked by sophisticated spoofing mechanisms. Any process that dictates legal boundaries, financial compliance, or physical security just inherently requires a manual, multi-factor engineering review. Look, you wouldn't let a bot unilaterally file your company's regulatory disclosures with the government, right? So you definitely shouldn't let a bot unilaterally alter your core production databases. Moving on to the second area, edge case incident response. While automated self-healing scripts are, fantastic for quickly restarting a simple stalled server instance, they are fundamentally dangerous during complex, multi-layered outages. An automated script completely lacks broader geopolitical context. It completely lacks cross-functional business awareness. A script doesn't read the daily news, and it definitely doesn't know your company just launched a massive marketing campaign in Europe. So if that script attempts to fix a massive infrastructure failure without understanding exactly why the failure is happening in the real world, it can inadvertently trigger cascading blackouts across connected nodes. It can literally turn a localized, manageable outage into a catastrophic global system crash. Finally, the third area, vendor and cloud cost arbitrage. I know it is incredibly tempting to just automate vendor procurement or short-term cloud resource scaling, but doing so can result in massive, totally unexpected budget overruns. Real cost optimization isn't just about math. It requires human negotiation. It requires contextual market awareness, and it requires strategic timing. An automated API or an algorithm simply cannot calculate the nuance of a vendor relationship or strategically time a massive resource purchase based on, say, industry rumors and upcoming product launches. To put it simply, you need a human expert reading the room, not just a program reading the code. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Resilience over Autopilot, Redefining Operational Excellence. True operational excellence is not defined by how much of your enterprise runs on autopilot. Let me say that again, because it's vital. Excellence is not measured by the sheer volume of your automation. Instead, it is defined by the resilience of your system. It's time to really look at your own systems right now. Are you treating manual touchpoints as annoying technical bottlenecks? Because honestly, you should be treating them as deliberate design features. Maintaining strict human-in-the-loop protocols is a vital structural shield. It protects your organization from internal operational drift, systemic technical risk, and external market volatility. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. Look closely at your infrastructure, your automated pipelines, and your core business processes. And ask yourself, when the inevitable failure state occurs, and trust me, it will occur, who is at the wheel? Is it a resilient human expert capable of navigating chaos? Or is your enterprise dangerously over-indexed on algorithms blindly following codified assumptions right off a cliff? Strategic friction isn't slowing you down. It might just be the very thing keeping you on the road.